Welcome back to Unrendered. My guest is Senator Daniel Cummings. Senator Cummings will be hoping to be the constituency representative for West Kingstown in the next general elections. Senator Cummings, West Kingstown. I had the Commissioner of Police on this program in the last edition, and he mentioned that Otley Hall was one of these hotspots for crime. That's in the constituency that you're contesting to be elected for. How is Senator Cummings going to approach the crime that exists, causes of crime that exist in your constituency?
Tony, I am not by any stretch of the imagination an expert on crime, but I believe we have to walk through the people. I see this feud, and it's a serious feud, you know, between persons in Otley Hall and Edinburgh. So much so that young people in Otley Hall refused to go to get registered when the registration was being done in Edinburgh. It is as deep as that. But the problem is not just, it doesn't happen overnight. When you have so many young people without any hope, without any form of employment whatsoever, a lot of them lacking a father figure in the home, and not much for them to go on. The sporting facility that John Horn started in Otley Hall has been there all the years with nothing done to it, but within recent time, again, the 99th hour, I see some attempt to clean up the facility and at least make it a playground of sort. So I believe that really we have to cut through the non-issues and get straight to the heart of the social problems, working with these young people.
Have you already started to do this?
Oh,
because you don't have to wait to become a constituency
you're quite
representative
right. You're quite right.
To do some national duties.
Tony, you see this business about giving people hope, helping these young people to realize even though they fell out of the formal education system, there is still hope. You can go back to school, you can learn a skill, you can, even though it's, for example, horticultural work, buying a weed whacker, cutting the lawn and keeping the fence, but people need to understand it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So you give them some training, set them up and give them some financing to get them going and hold their hand over a period of time. They then would be able to employ other people and do professional work. And you can think of so many areas where these young people can have hope. Because I tell you, it's very clear to me, the reason why they get angry with one another is absolute trivia. There's no good reason for it, but it's born out of frustration. So you have to work on giving these people hope, bringing them back to realize when they get up in the morning and they look in the mirror, they can be proud of themselves. They're proud to be a father, to know that you have a child and you want that child to grow up and to be somebody. It is that kind of initiative.
Have you done any sort of analysis in terms of your employment stats in your constituency? I keep referring to it as your constituency, but you know what I mean. It's a constituency that you apply in your political work.
I don't have any scientific data, but I tell you the honest truth. When you visit any of those communities on a daily basis and you see the number of young people who are simply sitting on the block, it is frightening. Clearly, the unemployment levels in that community are extremely high. I would say it's beyond a shadow of a doubt, well over 50%.
So that's your feel.
Well over 50%.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. And you experience it. It's quite obvious. It's quite high.
You mentioned cottage industries. You spoke about horticulture a while ago, and I remember Daniel Cummings being a man himself who had a business, DeAndre Wines. What has become of that? Again,
do I have to speak about this?
It will be helpful because I'm trying to see your business management skills and your successes.
Okay. You see, the winery is something that I invested my life earnings in. And in 2000, 2001, I moved from being a home scale thing to setting the business up. And unfortunately, politics mixed its ugly head, my good friend. I had prepared my business. I had the market ready in Trinidad to export. I had done some exportation to the UK and to several Caribbean countries. And in comes the ULP administration. I'm renting a facility in Camden Park from the National Properties, what used to be DEFCO.
Yes.
The building has been under disrepair for the longest while. The water up to today pours into the compound, rotting my equipment, destroying my raw materials. I have pleaded, I have begged, I've had promises from DEFCO to its various managers. Instead, they came and they put a woodworking facility right next door to my winery. Now, you don't have to be a technical person to know that the dust and the paint fumes from a woodworking industry would not go hand in hand with a winery. You need a sterile environment. It set me back 3 years. They did some minor adjustments. This administration, about 4 years ago, decided that Daniel Cummings must not be involved in this business. They took an empty plastic container recycling facility. They have lots of lands in the industrial estates. And Tony, would you believe it? This is where they collect the empty chubby and those are the soft drink containers. Pack them up there and then crush them and export them. Within 10 foot from the winery is where they located the solid waste
So
facility.
all of this is driving you out of business?
Well, it has closed my building. But moreover, despite all of that, they decided to take the business to court to have me evicted from the premises.
But
and the reason I don't talk about it is that the matter. Yes, because
over $200,000.
That is not correct. But I have decided a long time ago that they have broken all of the covenants with me. And until they correct them, I am not going. How would you want me to pay rent when you have effectively stopped me from using the premises? You see, rent and lease has terms and conditions. I have to keep my end of the bargain, but you have to keep yours. And I don't really want to go into it, I say, because it's in the court.
Right.
And I allow the court to decide. But the bottom line is the proprietors, the owners, the landowners, they have not, the landlord have not kept any of their covenants. And I have deliberately refused to pay rent.
So the issue before the court is that you are owing a sum of money that's
their claim,
that's
and there's my counterclaim to them.
So the figure that they're claiming is over $200,000?
Well, I don't think that's a correct figure, because the rent is $3,000 thereabouts per month, and I think can't remember how long it is. But what the point is,
you're counterclaiming that they have really not kept their end of.
They have destroyed.
The bargain.
They have prevented me from using the facility. And I say, because it's before the court, I really don't want to go into
Okay, I just wanted to bring this issue out so that people know what's hanging over Daniel Cummings' head, as it were.
Well, no, that's a business that I have, and the irony of it, it's exactly what this country needs. You are taking the vast amount of fruits that simply go to waste, adding value to it and creating a product that you can export. When I made the investment, it was 90% export oriented, but I have been unable to do any work for 5 years. All I am doing now is selling the stocks that I have already bottled. I cannot even bottle.